สวัสดีค่ะแพรนะคะจาก Harper BAZAAR Thailand ค่ะวันนี้นะคะเราก็มี Exclusive Interview จาก3นักแสดงนำจากเรื่อง Shadow and Bone ค่ะซึ่งสร้างมาจากนวนิยายชื่อดังนะคะเรื่อง Shadow and Bone ผสมกับ Six of Crows ค่ะในวันนี้เราจะมาพูดคุยกับ Jessie Mei Li Archie Renaux และก็ Ben Barnes
สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Claire from Harper BAZAAR Thailand. Nice to meet you.
Hi Claire, nice
again.
to meet you too. Welcome.
Nice to
I've
meet
been
you.
watching Shadow and Bone binging 8 episodes in a row. I gotta say that I'm really impressed that you guys combined the story of Shadow and Bone and
Six of Crows, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, you're half British and Chinese, right? The producer tweaked Alina to be half Shuhan. And what experience do you and Alina have together?
I think it was a really good decision to make her mixed race because, you know, in the books she feels very outside, but it's because she's not confident in how she looks. But obviously in the show they added this element of her being mixed race, and I think it adds to the world. Feel like we know who's at war with who. But I felt it was really nice actually because I could bring my own experience and my own feelings as a mixed race person and all of that confusion and not really feeling like I belong anywhere. So I could bring that to the character, which was really nice. And I think it was good. They talk about her race, but it's not absolutely everything. It's not what the show's about. And that's like my life. I talk about my race, but that's not what my life's about. And I think that was a really nice thing to have in the show.
How do you feel about your character?
How do I feel about him? Well, he was obviously somebody that was compelling and interesting enough to spend this time portraying him and investigating him. I think on the surface, he can seem somebody who is feared and revered. I was interested to play someone sort of at the top of the hierarchy of power in this world. But obviously there are behaviors of his that I feel very judgmental about as a man. And so it's kind of interesting to play someone who lives in that kind of grey area and believes things that you don't necessarily believe and has ideologies that don't necessarily fit with yours. So it's interesting to sort of navigate that stuff and find what of myself I can bring to him to give him some humanity in contrast with all that power.
And for you, Archie, how does Mel mentally support Alina during the time before and after she's a sun summoner?
It's quite interesting because sort of whilst they're young in the orphanage, it was kind of Alina who looked out for Mal because they were both like seen as outsiders at the orphanage. It was Alina that sort of looks out for Mal, and then as they get older and Mal becomes more confident, before Alina discovers she's super powerful, Mal is the one that sort of looks out for her. So the roles kind of reverse. And then as the story progresses, I don't know how much protecting Mal can do. He can just do his best in this world of people that have super powerful Grisha skills.
Archie, if you become a Grisha, what Grisha summoner you want to be?
I think I'd be like a materiality, like a Durast, because I want to build houses. I used to be a builder and I want to build houses and build a property empire. So I can build homes anywhere.
That's great for this.
Holiday home. Just knock one up in 5 minutes.
And could you give me an example of the lines you like?
Oh, well, there were a lot of wonderful lines that obviously were already borrowed from the books in the scripts, but there was sometimes when I was doing scenes, particularly some of the scenes with Jessie, who plays Alina, there would be moments where it didn't feel like we were quite exploring all of the themes that we could be exploring in terms of their dynamic and the power dynamics in across Ravka between Grisha and the Okazatya, which are the Muggles of our world. And so we would often borrow these lines. There's a line in one of the first scenes that we have where she says, "I don't understand how you slice that man in two from 50 paces." And I originally had said, "Don't worry yourself about it," or something. And there was a line from the book which was, "Would you have preferred I used a sword?" It's going to be violent no matter what. So are you judging me for using magic, or are you judging me for killing and trying to save you? And it sort of highlighted a lot of interesting themes for me.
You meant how you sliced one of them in half from a dozen paces. There is matter to everything.
What would you two compare the fold into anything in the real world, starting with Jessie?
I guess, well, it's kind of like a huge expanse of, it looks like smoke almost, doesn't it? I don't know, into the bottom of the ocean or something. It's, you know, a very different place to what they're expecting, isn't it? It's
like
kind of, and
like
there are creatures.
A deep trench where those fish glow in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Jessie stole my idea. Closest thing, what would it be like to crossing? It'd be like crossing the Amazon River if you'd put a load of food that piranhas enjoy inside and then you had to swim across. Or alligator. It's like swimming across the Nile with a big cut on your leg.
Okay, so in your opinion, what do you think the fold represents or reflects in these days?
Well, I think the whole story as a whole is a kind of exploration of identity. You know, you have all of these different cultures and identities and races surrounding this one area, and then the fold rips right through the map, through the center. And it's this kind of shadowy, dark, grey, black, murky territory which is full of monsters. And for me, it sort of represents everybody's sort of demons and, you know, subconscious and all of that. And it's something that you can't, you have to make it, if you want to overcome it, you have to go through. And so for me, it sort of metaphorically represents that, but it also represents people's pasts. And for my character in particular, it represents quite a heavy weight from his ancestors. And sort of that sense of responsibility of bringing peace and protecting your own. So, and it's a constant, consistent reminder of him, of what his ambition is. And I think, you know, sometimes in real life, our anxieties and worries and fears and concerns do drive a lot of the ways that we behave.
As your point of view, not the character's point of view, how do you think Alina is going to destroy the fold? Starting with you, Jessie.
How is she going to destroy it?
As your thoughts.
As my thoughts. Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see because she may not. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to her?
I don't know. We don't know. They don't tell us anything. We don't know.
Maybe she goes to live there. Maybe she likes it.
Oh, really?
Or you'll have to read the book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
Thank you so much,
So
Ben.
welcome.
Can't wait for season 2.
Oh, thank you. Hope we get one.